Hi everyone, my name is Christy and welcome to my Trying a New Makeup Product Everyday series. Today I have here the Item Beauty On the Daily eyeshadow palette to try out. So this is a product I got in my February 2022 Ipsy Glam Bag X, which is in collaboration, this box, with Addison Rae, and Item Beauty is Addison Rae's makeup line. And I've tried out a few products from this brand, and it's a cute brand. I like that it's affordable. This palette, it's huge, but it retails for $24. I mean, I guess that's not like cheap affordable, but compared to other eyeshadow palettes of this size, $24 seems pretty low priced. It's also cruelty-free, vegan, paraben-free, and all the packaging is very cohesive in this ombre blue type of look. So let's check out the shades in here. So, I mean, it's a neutral palette. It just doesn't make me as excited to play around with, but realistically, these are the shades that are in my comfort zone that I use most often, or at least in some way with almost all eyeshadow looks that I end up creating. So there are 10 shades in here. Looks like 6 mattes and 4 shimmers. And I do like the big mirror. So let's start out with some swatches. Swatch some of the metallics, mattes. They do have a really nice feel to them. Looking pretty pigmented. So we've got a light shimmer that could be a highlight, which is good to see. Ooh. That's a really pretty pigmented shimmery brown. Ooh, an impressive matte formula. They're very smooth, very buttery, which is nice. So that brown that I swatched on the end, it's a metallic brown. I would say it looks a lot lighter in the swatch than it looks in the pan, but also a really pretty shade. I mean, all the shades go so well together because they're in that same color family. So just like I do with all eyeshadow palettes, I'm going to test this out with and without an eyeshadow primer. So I am using the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, and I am just going to apply this all over lash line to brow bone on one of my eyes. And we'll compare the difference on if there's creasing, how vibrant the shades show up, all of that, which an eyeshadow primer can really make a difference with. So I like to set and prep my lids with a light matte shade. So I'm going to pick up a fluffy brush and just a little bit of the lightest matte shade on here called Like a Lot. And it looks a little dark than what I would normally use, so I'm just picking up a little bit and very lightly dusting it all over. And it looks perfectly fine for this purpose. It cancels out some discoloration, and it will be a good base for the other shades. But it also is a nice shade just all over the lid to cancel out that discoloration and not necessarily put any other eyeshadows on top of it, or to just do a little crease or transition shade as well to add some depth to the eye. Sometimes I like a very simple eyeshadow look like that, which let's try it out. I guess like I'm looking for something a little lighter of a brown than what's actually in here, but let's try this one. It's called Ride or Die. It's a little bit more pink, but I'm gonna try this in this crease transition area just to build up a little depth. This shade, for me, I just don't really like this color on me because it looks like the natural pink tones that I already get on my eyelid that I was just trying to cover up. So it's fine. It's not super pigmented, but I'm also just lightly blending it out in the crease here, the transition area. So actually, let's move on to a different shade. I'm keeping with this fluffy brush to keep it more of a diffused, smoked out shade here in the crease transition area. Okay, so I just picked up the shade called Gimme, more of a, like a cinnamon brown shade. And this seems to have good pigment, blending out pretty nicely, creating more of that shadow effect here in the crease and transition area. So I also like to take a darker brown in the outer V and create more depth for my eye. And there are some great options for dark brown shades to do that with in this palette. So why don't I pick up this one called Sidekick. And I'm just going to blend this in the outer corner. Oh, a very great shade for this purpose. Build up some depth, lift the eye shape. This one has good pigment, so a little goes a long way. I'm really just picking up like one touch of the brush into the shadow, and that's all I really need to blend out this outer V and create that depth. I like this. Very easy to work with, very easy to blend. And now I have to use some shimmer. I'm going to pick up this one called ILYSM. It's like a coppery brown shimmer. I'm going to apply this onto the rest of the lid. And all of these shades look good together. It's just a little boring. But if I wanted to amp it up a bit, I could use a colored shimmer or just a colored eyeshadow where I'm now applying this copper shade and still use all of those other browns as a great base, because that's a very versatile way to start out an eyeshadow look, because it plays with the contour and the dimensions of the eyes, and it really goes with any other shade that you'd want to choose for the lid. But this is easy, simple, still kind of glam because it's a nice smoky eye. But now I'm going to pick up this lightest shimmer. It's called Must. And let's add a little highlight. See, like, this is probably my favorite shade in the palette because it pops, it's bright, it's shimmery, sparkly. I almost feel like it doesn't actually go with the other shades in this eyeshadow look. It's like too vibrant, almost like a holographic sheen. So it's like they should have put more of like a champagne shimmer shade that would have complemented these browns some more, because this just has that ultraviolet sheen that I feel like needs like some purples or blues to go with it. Just almost looks like I picked this shimmer up from a completely different palette. Doesn't really go. I do love to put a brown shimmer along the lower lash line. So let's pick up one of the brown shimmers that I have not used yet. How about the darker one called To Please? And I'm going to see how this looks along the lower lash line. Wow, I just got some on my cheek there. Gosh. I like this shade on the lower lash line. It emphasizes the eye, but it's not too dark. Has a little shimmer, metallic finish. I love how that completes the brown smoky eye look. I definitely think this would look great with some lashes. I feel like my eyelashes have completely disappeared with how kind of dark this eyeshadow look is. So you could really pull off some big falsies with this eyeshadow look. And so now here you can see my finished eyeshadow look. And I like it. It's a nice finished look. I just didn't have as much fun or feel as creative creating this look because it's a limiting palette in what you can create. And I personally love an eyeshadow palette that has so many options and so many different directions and an inspiring palette like that Huda Beauty Mercury retrograde palette that I just recently tried out. Like, I had so much more fun playing with that palette. But I am happy with these formulas. They're very easy to work with. So this is the eye with the primer. This is the eye without the primer, and there's really no difference. They show up just as vibrant on the eye with and without the primer. I am not having creasing. So I really like these formulas. If you've tried this palette out, I would love to hear in the comments down below your thoughts on it. And thank you so much for watching my video today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you can see the makeup that I try every day. And I will see you tomorrow in my next video.